Okay, welcome, Black Carnivores. Welcome back to the Black Carnivore podcast. And today I'm really excited to bring Jahfari. He is 20, so one of our younger members, and he's been doing carnivore for about a year. And I really wanted to hear his story. So we often hear about people, who are much older and who are struggling with a lot more health problems eating this way. So it's really cool to see a younger person who now is going to have a life transformed because he is eating so healthy at such a young age. So let's dive right in and let's hear from Jafari. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello. um my name's Jahfari. I was born in outside of the US, Central America, Belize City to be specific. And I moved to the US in about 2009. I've been out here for more than 10 years now, so it's been pretty cool. It's a lot more opportunities compared to the part of Belize where I grew up, not the tourist destinations, of course. And that's basically the reason why we came out here with my mom and my little brother. And since then, sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to organize all my thoughts.
That's okay. We're just having a conversation.
Moved out
Well,
here.
why? Yeah. So why don't you tell me? I mean, I actually often wonder, like, what is the difference between how young people eat here versus Belize? I mean, when you were
Oh,
there, like,
well,
what were you eating? And then when you got here, what stuff did you start eating?
it's it's pretty unhealthy in both places. I can't say too many positive things. I think in Belize they have a less fare of meat. I don't see a lot of vegans in Belize. So actually, we used to go fishing all the time just to get some fish. Anyways, but when we moved out here, it was mostly more. I was more exposed to fast food. I don't think I once or seen any fast food places in Belize. There were restaurants, and you can get takeout and stuff like that. And compared to how we used to in Belize, they like to like fry a lot of the carbs or like bread. We literally take like this flour, fry it, call it fried jack. It was pretty good, but I definitely stay away from that now. But and let's see. Compared to out here, it's a lot more processed, I say, because in Belize, everybody usually cooks all their food. Even though it's still unhealthy, they wouldn't like have some big chain restaurant prepare all their food for them or stuff like that. But it's like in Belize, when people are young, they're usually skinnier, but the trend is like as they get older, they gain a lot of weight. They become kind of unhealthy. Like I noticed that. I don't want to call out my family members, but I've seen that personally. So
Yeah. That's actually really interesting because I assume that everywhere outside of the US, like, people are healthier. But it sounds like you're saying, like, the eating patterns there are also leading to metabolic dysfunction so that people are gaining a lot of weight. Do you see a lot of diabetes and that sort of thing too?
um to be honest, I haven't spoken with my family in too long, so I don't know if they have diabetes specifically. I just know that they like obesity is like on the rise.
Hmm.
So, and it's something I noticed since I was a kid. And then no. But yeah, I've never specifically talking to them about like or talked to them about like what conditions they've developed, like diabetes, high blood pressure, and stuff like that. But as a matter of fact, no, my granny, she just came to the US a few months ago, and she does have high blood pressure,
Hmm.
but she doesn't have diabetes. But it's not like we do eat a lot of sugar. It's mostly like starches, like bread.
Hmm.
I want to say potatoes. I've oh, rice and beans is a big staple. So
Hmm.
that's all
Yeah.
I can say about that.
Well, as we know, it doesn't have to be sugar. Bread and pasta and flour and those sorts of products also are equally as is capable of causing these conditions. But you said that your mom decided, the whole family should go vegan when you were in high school. So clearly she must have been somewhat concerned about what she was seeing in terms of how everybody was eating. So she was like, no, we're going to do
No.
something different. So how
Um,
was that? How old were you when you started, and what was that like?
I think it was around the beginning of high school, maybe the second year of high school.
Oh, so you
Um,
were like 15.
14, 15. Actually, I
Wow.
was I was basically a year younger than everybody. So I started high school when I was 13. That's because in Belize, the education, it just didn't transfer over, right? But so yeah, she wanted to I don't know what she was concerned about, to be specific. Maybe it was just like, when you see something in the news and you're like, oh, I kind of develop
I
a fear
mean,
of it.
you're in California. Like I spent some time out there, of course. Like it's a thing.
No, it really is. So yeah, and then she decided we should all go vegan. Most people were against it. I think because at the time I was living with me, my stepdad, his son, and my little brother and my youngest brother, who's my stepdad's and my mom's kid, which I hope that made sense.
Mhm.
But so I don't know what she was concerned about, to be specific, but I think it was just health overall. Everybody wants to be healthy, at least I hope. Some people, I only live once. I want to have fun. I try not to do that. But
So did you
anyways,
do that consistently through high school or?
mhm. I
Wow.
tried to be because I thought it was, I didn't even question, I wasn't trying to question it. I was just, my mom's doing it. She said it's healthy. And, I've always been like I guess a mama's boy. I really like trust what my mom says. So when she says it, I'm just like, I'm gonna do it. So she I did it pretty consistently during high school. It was a little weird at times, when you go out and eat, but there's always like, there was, as time went on, there was more and more vegan options. So I was able to like deal with it on field trips. I had the vegan pizza, which is which is a joke, but it was never good. I mean, it was good, but it wasn't like good for you, if you know what I mean.
Hmm.
But yeah, I did that for up until after I graduated high school. I did that for almost maybe around 6 years because I was also started community college and I was still vegan then.
So how did you feel? I mean, what were the effects of the vegan diet on you?
Personally, when I started, I couldn't really tell a difference over time. Um, I still really couldn't tell. All I know is that my digestion was basically getting worse. I had more and more constipation. It was crazy. Like it was like 7 days, maybe a whole week before I'd ever had to go to the bathroom. And I was just like, is this normal? Is this okay? Because when I was younger, or not even younger, just like a few years ago, I was still in the US and I remember like I definitely had to use the bathroom more than this. So is it something wrong? So, but I didn't question it, I was still going. So I was like, as long as I'm not dead or too backed up. But as far as my mood or concentration, those are things I never really paid attention to as a kid. All I know is that I got more and more, I had less confidence. I can definitely say that. I had less confidence than I would have liked. And as far as energy, yeah, energy was never good. It was in high school, I can say now I have more energy, even though I'm a little older. And you say when you're younger, I'm not even that old, but it's
Oh,
like when
for
you're
for the record, you're 20.
yeah.
So, yeah.
One time I was
You
at the
could
barber
say the
shop.
prime of your life is still ahead of you.
No, that's true. I was at the barber
Yeah.
shop and I was talking like that, and they were all making fun of me because it's just like you're not that old yet.
Yeah.
Anyways, but it was just basically a few years ago. You think you're in high school, you have the most energy, but it was it was tough to get up in the morning because I have to catch the bus to school. I sleep a lot in class, which is basically like my personality trait, I guess. People just saw me as like, oh, that's what he's gonna do, especially
Oh
first period.
no. Oh no.
And
Did you
then
play sports at all?
no, I didn't play sports. I didn't think I would be good at it. See, I didn't have the confidence like I would have liked. looking back, I probably would have if I'd done things differently. But yeah, energy wasn't good. I was okay with my grades, but I think I could have been better. It was it wasn't the best. It wasn't like I was forgetting everything. I just had a lack of energy, so I didn't study as much as I would have liked to compared to now. I wanna go back to college and see how well I do just to compare the two. But yeah, it wasn't a benefit. It was more like a detriment.
Yeah. Wow. So, okay, so when did you make the switch, and why did you make the switch to go carnivore? I mean, did you go vegan to carnivore, or
Yeah, I
like
went
how
straight
did
from
that
vegan.
go?
I said I'm just gonna go on the opposite end, just jump straight into it. It was last year. I stopped working because I was working for like 2 years as a cashier at a 99-cent store. And I stopped working, and I noticed a few things were wrong with my health, specifically like my constipation still hadn't gotten better. And it was actually kind of getting worse. And I had a few skin problems. And oh yeah, and I had a few problems with my throat, but it was it was weird. It was because I had strep throat when I was younger. That was actually when I moved out here. But so then I wanted to I was thinking about going to the hospital specifically just to look at my constipation, but like I said it before, I had like an irrational fear of going to hospitals or seeing a doctor. Maybe it's because like I don't want people probing around like my body who I don't know. But it was it was I said I'm gonna try something at home before at least before I go out and see a professional. You know, you know, I think it's better to kind of think that way because it does get expensive at hospitals. But my mom, by the time
Did she know that this was all going on?
no, I didn't tell her I had constipation or anything
Mm.
or my skin problems or anything like that. It was more like yeah, I was pretty private about it. She knows now, but
Mhm.
um
And
yeah.
how
So I
was
kept
she doing? Because she was doing vegan the same length of time as you.
no, that's
Was
funny
she
because
doing well?
she actually she went to the hospital and they said you're anemic, so you need to take an iron
Mm.
supplement,
Mm.
which makes sense. But at the same time, it's just like I know I
Mm.
saw your video with Anthony Chafee last week or
Mhm.
a few days ago. I
Mhm.
love that guy. Like I watch,
Mhm.
I binge watch his videos. So he was also talking about. Says this one thing. It's like if you need to supplement in your diet by definition is like deficient, which makes sense. And I didn't even think about the vegan diet being deficient in everything. And my vegan diet
Mhm.
wasn't even like a good vegan diet. Like you see, like you need to eat raw, all these vegetables and fruits. It was pita bread, avocados, and a salad occasionally. And
Mhm.
then sometimes, and then a few times we had Beyond Burgers, and I did not like those. Those did not sit well in my stomach. Like they made me feel so
Mhm.
strange. Like I instinctively knew I shouldn't eat this, which was smart
Mhm.
because I try to stay away from them, even when I was vegan. But anyways, where was I? So yeah, I got sick last year. I decided to
Sick like how?
oh not sick. I was more like I was paying more attention to my symptoms, like
Uh-huh.
the constipation, my skin,
Mhm.
my throat. What else?
Oh, I get it. Yeah, you
Oh
can go
no,
ahead.
sorry.
Uh-huh. No, it's
So
okay.
um I decided to take it into my own hands and look up what would be an option. And I came across what I learned on YouTube. That's his YouTube channel, What I've Learned. And he he basically was talking about this ketosis thing, and I was like, that's a new word to me. So I took an interest in it, and he was talking about how your body taps into your body fat, and you get all this energy because there's more calories and fat and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, this kind of sounds like a weird superpower, but I thought it was strange. I didn't really take it all the way, too seriously. Then I saw his next video, which is like recommended probably, which was about carnivore, which uh which is really weird because like you're just eating meat. And when I was vegan, I was like, meat is bad, but I never knew like the reason why it was bad. I just went with it, which is something I try not to do now. Lesson
Mhm.
learned. Um, so yeah, and then with that video, more and more kept popping up on my recommendations. I kept the first doctor or like doctor on YouTube I saw was Dr. Paul Mason, who was talking about fiber and how when people got rid of fiber in their diet, like the constipation went away completely. And I was like, that's interesting. So I kept watching his videos. I saw Low Carb and Under. I saw Dr. Robert Lustig about sugar being bad. So I basically binge watched all the low carb, sugar's bad videos I could find, and then I just decided to jump in and go vegan.
Mhm. So for
Sorry,
everybody, for,
go carnivore.
go the other way, yeah. So for everybody watching, I think all of those resources are really awesome, and I'll link some of the videos below. What I've learned is a great channel, and he covers all kinds of interesting topics. But he's done some great videos on seed oils, on
Mhm.
fasting, on carnivore. So I will list some of those below, and Dr. Mason, and for those of you watching, and those of you watching down the road, even I'm going to be speaking at Low Carb USA August 25th this summer, so I'm really excited about that. And yeah, and hopefully, we will be able to bring even more interesting and diverse people to these conferences.
That's very cool. Congratulations, Al. I'm definitely gonna watch it. So
Thank you.
be on the lookout for my comment.
I will.
Anyways,
So you went
sorry.
from vegan to carnivore. So yeah,
Mhm.
let's hear it.
Yeah, I just decided to jump in. My mom was kind of like, uh, she's like, Jahfari, what are you doing? And she was really worried about me. I could tell she was worried because she looked stressed about it. And she's like, I don't know what you're doing. And the craziest thing she said, I'm just gonna do it too with you. I don't even know why she said that. It was questionable, I guess. She thought I was she thought I was hurting myself probably. She's like, if you see me doing it too, then you'll stop because you don't want me to get hurt or maybe something like that. But yeah, I just started like February 2021. I don't know the exact date, but that's when I started. And I was like, I the only store that was closest to me was Walmart, and I didn't have access to like beef tallow and stuff like that. So I was eating like they sell like the $5 gallon of lard at Walmart. So I bought that. I also bought like a little thing of ghee. I was mostly eating like beef and eggs, and it was really cool. It was like a wake up. I looked better. I had like these little dark spots around my armpits. Those went away. I
Mhm.
had a better mood. I used to get really chapped lips. That went away. I I what else? It was a lot of benefits. Basically, mentally, the way I looked, and then the only downside was talking to people about it, which is hard because even in a balanced diet or like you have to have some vegetables or your diet's gonna be out of balance. You're gonna get sick. My little brother, who was he's only 2 years younger than me, he's very he how do I say it? He likes to when I don't want to say follow trends, but it's more like you see what your friends are doing and that's what you're gonna do. You see what other people are
Mhm.
doing, that's what you're gonna do. It's like it's more, you follow those kind of things more often when you're a kid. So he saw me eating all these eggs and meat. He thought I was gonna get a heart attack, cholesterol and stuff like that, which is something he still says to this day, which is
So
kind of
you got to
funny.
get him to watch. I know what I learned did a great video on cholesterol. You got to get him to watch that.
I tried to, but I don't think he takes me too seriously. I try to show him. He said, Jahfari, you're gonna get fat eating all this stuff, and I've been doing it for like such a long time. I'm like, I haven't gotten fat yet. I was actually a little more. I was chubbier before I even before I started the diet. But I don't think he noticed because he doesn't like pay attention to my body like that. But anyways, yeah. So it was weird. It was something I wasn't talking to my friends at the time, so none of my friends actually know what I eat. But yeah, it was mostly I had to basically like tell the family like, oh, this is what I'm doing. I'm fine now. And I got good results. But eventually I kept seeing these videos. I wasn't like 100% convinced. So I eventually went back to keto, and then something happened in our house where like we couldn't use the stove, which is like a big part of it, like if you're gonna eat like a meat-based diet. So I was stuck, and all we had were these preserved foods. I'm not talking like preserved meat. It was like beans and lentils. And I regret it, but I ate those because they were low carb. And I got
Wait,
super
how are
bloated.
beans and rice low carb?
It was I forgot what it was. It was like this little lentil packet thing.
Oh, I
And
see. It was
I guess
something
I did like the net
labeled that.
carb with the fiber and
Oh,
stuff like that. I
yeah.
was like, you know what? It's not
Gotcha.
over 50, I guess. So I guess I'll be fine. I was not fine. It was
No.
the worst few months of my life because I got super bloated. My face got puffy. It's like when you go on carnivore, all this, you become sensitive to all these kind of things.
Mhm.
It's a good thing, I guess, because now you know like your body, I guess you get stronger signals like, you know, you need to avoid this. But yeah, it wasn't fun. But I went back to carnivore because I was like, I was fine on carnivore. I can't do this keto thing anymore. It's not a bad diet, but it's not the best for me, at least
Mhm.
personally. So I went back, and I've been carnivore, like strict carnivore, since September 2021. Yeah, I'd say.
Mhm. Nice. So, how did your mom do? Did she stick with it that whole time, or did
No,
she
I
just
actually
do
got
it
her
for?
off the vegan diet.
Okay, well,
I
that's
could,
good.
I don't know how I convinced her. I was like, I know I can't convince her to just eat meat, but there was a few
Mhm.
keto influencers that were kind of popular on YouTube, like Dr. Berg, I guess. So I showed him like his little like 5 video clips. She also saw the Dr. Lustig's
Mhm.
sugar is bad. And so eventually she went back to eating meat and eggs. She included that in her diet, and she tries to stay low carb or keto now. She's pregnant now, so
Mhm.
I guess she's
Hmm.
more on the lookout for her health, which is a good thing. I would have been pretty sad if like my youngest sibling now has like to go through a pregnancy with like a vegan diet.
Yeah.
I don't think that's okay.
Yeah. So, is everybody else in the household, are they meat eating, or are you the only one like doing strict meat? And how does that work, like in terms of like groceries and stuff in the house?
Yeah, I'm definitely the only one who does strict carnivore. Nobody
Uh-huh.
else. I say my because I did my mom, she ended up she left her or me her and her and my stepdad, or I guess ex stepdad, they got a divorce. So now she has a boyfriend who's the father of the new kid. And yeah, he and my youngest brother, I don't think they care about that. So I guess
Mhm.
they call it a sad diet, but they try to occasionally when me and my mom say something, they're like, okay, I guess I won't do that. And I guess I won't eat that. But and then my mom, she kind of does keto. Sometimes she's on it, sometimes she's off it. I try not to question it, you know, because she's pregnant and whatever she wants to eat, she'll eat, I guess. As long as it's, she's eating some kind of meat and eggs,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna go too far. And then as for me, yeah, I'm the only strict carnivore. When it comes to groceries, it's an expense. They don't they get scared when I go through a whole pack of burgers in like a day or two. So
Yeah. Well,
it's
you're a growing young man. Isn't it normal for, guys your age to eat like a ton? Do you feel like you eat more now than before, or less?
I definitely eat more. I used to eat like when I was vegan, pita bread, hummus, and avocado. I used to like the avocado a lot. But yeah, I did that, and I'd eat and then I'd feel like, you know, I still get kind of bloated, and I wouldn't eat as much as I definitely do now, especially like if you're counting calories. I have this little app, the Chronometer app, I checked like how much I tried. It's like a rough estimate. It was like 4,000 calories is like kind of what I'm doing now, which is
Wow.
which is kind of crazy. I'm like, is this okay? But I try
Yeah.
not to worry about it because I feel really good. I feel really good
Yeah.
because
How tall are you?
I'm
Just
six.
for everybody.
I'm sorry, I'm 6'1", and I weigh
Oh.
like 150, 160. And if I eat, that's an extra few pounds because I eat like a few pounds of meat a day. I think around like three-ish is what I do.
Hmm. So
But
now
yeah,
that you've got all of this, energy, and I would assume, are you getting more muscular? Are you getting stronger? Are you now like getting into fitness?
yeah, definitely. Like, actually, when I restarted the carnivore diet, or not restarted, it's more like I came back to it when I was back in September. We were moving at the time, and I was just laying down. I was like, I really want to work out, which is something I've never done. So I've been getting more into exercise. I do it at home. I haven't gone to a gym yet, or I don't plan to at least, because I don't want to pay for a subscription. But if I can work out at home, I will. I was going to today actually before the call, but I was like, I'll do it after. But it's something I've been definitely trying because I've tried it before in high school. When you're high school, like trying to impress everybody, trying to look fit, and I definitely my performance out definitely outclasses what I can do now. Definitely outclasses what I can do before. So
Hmm.
fitness is definitely something I'm interested in. Well,
Excellent.
sorry, did you have another question? I think you said something else.
So if the rest of the household isn't eating this way, are there like lots of snacks around, and do you feel tempted, or do you just not care? Like, do you just enjoy eating this
No,
way so much?
no, they do cook a lot. My little brother likes to make waffles, put syrup on them.
Mm,
The snacks in the cabinet. People love nuts. I used to love nuts a lot. When I was vegan, I could not do nuts. They went in and they came out the same way they went in, which
mm,
is not a good thing.
yeah. Yeah.
So I stay away from nuts, even though I really like them. There's peanut butter, there's jelly, there's the fruit juices, there's a lot of stuff. But I'm never tempted. It's more like I I basically lost those temptations. Like even when I smell food cooking, or like I see like something I used to like, I'm like, it'll taste good. But when I think about how it make me feel, it's just like I'll stay away because like I knew my stomach definitely would be, or my gut would be mad at me. It would not be a good few days because I've tried it. I've tried because when you do carnivore for a while, you like experiment with it. I experimented with like yogurt and sauerkraut and adding foods back in. And it just never worked out. So
Mhm.
I don't even, and plus I don't get the cravings for them anymore. So it's not something I really worry about, which is a good thing.
Wow, that's awesome. So it sounds like you didn't have a weight problem before. I mean, if you lost any weight, how much do you think you lost?
Um, Maybe 1 to 2 to 3 pounds in fat at least.
Oh, you
I haven't,
okay. So you didn't really have a weight problem.
no.
But it
Um,
sounds like the transformation it was mental and was with your energy. What about your schoolwork? Do you feel like you've noticed a difference there?
yeah, my memory is definitely something I'm definitely proud of getting better, or I'm happy it got better because um let's see, 2021 last year, I wasn't in school. I stopped going to school and I stopped working. Um, I wanted to focus on my health for that year at least, or do something else. So I want to go back because I really want to see how well I can perform academically, which I think it would be really good because I used to be a procrastinator. I used to have like less energy, less focus, which are things like I can do a lot better now. It's easier to keep like a train of thought going instead of like, this random song just pops into my head and I'm just like, oh wait, what were we talking about? So it's
That's kind of like a huge deal. I mean, from what you described, like sleeping through class, not having a lot of energy, not having much focus, and not having much confidence, that is sort of a recipe for bad grades. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely and that's basically what I got. A few, especially when I was first starting high school, I got pretty bad grades, but it was more like I got better because, you know, more people want to look at, like I had to force myself to get better grades as the years went on. But I still had the same energy then, so it's not like I improved because I wanted to. It's more like, people around me were like forcing me to. You have to do better, or you're gonna be a bum. So
So are you thinking about where are we? We're going into summer. So in the fall, maybe going back to school or
oh yeah, that was the plan in the fall.
oh,
Um,
okay.
uh, I want to go back. I want to actually change my major because when I first started, it's not like I had a specific goal. It's like I got to go to college. Everybody's going to college. If I don't go to college, I'm gonna get kicked out and just be homeless. So I went to college and I didn't really have a major at first, but then I was like, I guess I'll do communications because I was in high school. I was on the video production team, and not to brag, but I was kind of one of the best in class. So
Well,
people
excellent.
people around me were like, Jahfari, you should do something with videos and
Mhm.
cameras. But it wasn't something I really felt proud of because it was just like, it's not that hard. It's just common sense. You just look at the camera, it literally tells you, like, and you can see the shot. So anyways, I was pretty good at that. And to do that, you have to get like a communications major. Yeah, communications, and then video production, stuff like that. But I was like, it wasn't something like I really wanted to do. I was questioning it. And then after I got out of high school, college, I thought about it for a few months, and now I want to go back and do video game design or something like that. Something with coding. That's something that I can really like stick out, for like 4 years. It's something that interests me. And I could do videos on the side, if I ever want to start a YouTube channel, I could always do that. Because it's something like, it's a skill I already have. I don't think I need to go to school to develop it. I want to go to school to do something that's a little more productive, or a little more not to all the not to be mean to anybody who has that kind of major. It's more like a personal thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that definitely sounds like a rigorous course of study. So you need to be, you need to be able to concentrate and like be able to study for long periods of time and sort of stay focused for long periods of time. So
Mhm.
now, do you feel more confident that you can do that now?
Yeah, definitely. As a matter of fact, confidence in general is something like that's really, because sometimes let's see, I started working as a cashier after I graduated high school in 2018, and I worked till 2020. And I could tell when I walk down the street, or sometimes when I talk to people, I get nervous, like when someone's approaching me is someone I don't know, which is a weird thing now, because when I walk past someone, I can either ignore them or say hi if I feel like it. But it was just like, just comparing it to now, it's just such a strange experience to like be like nervous and scared and like not confident in such like simple situations, which is why, like, now that I'm more confident, I really want to like challenge myself and do things like uh like video game design. So
Mhm.
I'm excited.
Are you a gamer now? Like you seem like you have a setup there.
Yeah, definitely. If I make a game, I'm definitely gonna want to play it. So, and I like
Mhm.
playing games, so maybe that's part of the reason why I want to. Not that I'm good at games or I can go pro or anything like that, but
Mhm.
it's something I enjoy. So I want to. I don't want to, sit behind a desk and do something I hate.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, I'd be really curious to see if you got into some sports or something as well. How would that level up your energy and your focus and all of that? Because, I mean, that was a long time that you spent vegan in some of your formative years. So it would seem like, you're still making up a lot of what you didn't consume during that time. I don't know. Do you feel like that? I mean, I guess you don't really have the experience, the alternative experience.
Sometimes I think I'm eating all the meat now that I missed out in the last few years, but it's it's definitely like performance athletically, like when I was a kid, I did do a lot of exercise because I lived in an apartment complex. We just moved out here. So I ran around a lot. I got a lot of exercise. We're still eating meat, at least
Mhm.
fried chicken, whatever we could get. It wasn't like
Yeah.
and nachos and stuff sometimes. But it was I was definitely more athletic. When I was younger, people used to say I was fast. In high school, once I thought I was gonna join the track team with my friend. I never did it, which I kind of regret because I like sprinting, I like running. So now that like I'm on this diet, I do want to challenge myself more athletically. I want to take a boxing class. I don't know what else I want to do, but I would like sometimes I want to like, because when I exercise, I can only do things at home. So I can't do like training, like sprinting and stuff like that. So it's crazy talking about this stuff now because like if I was talking to myself, you're like, you want to do that? Don't you want just want to sit down and relax? But no. Ever since I
Yeah.
started exercising, it's more like I want to do it more and more because it's kind of addicting, because it feels really good. So
Yeah. Well, that's why I ask, I mean, it's not, I mean, exercise is good for a lot of things, but it is really good for brain. And it sounds like, you have some brain repair to do, and that's continuing to happen. So it might accelerate that, that ability to like stay focused and sit down and stay awake and all of that. So that's all the only reason I mention it. And it feels good, like you said.
no, my stepdad actually, he was a really muscular guy. He I wouldn't say his life is like the best, but he always like could get up and go do things when he had to do it. And looking back, I think that's part of the reasons because he exercised a lot. He's really muscular. He's like my height, maybe an inch taller than me. And he was just jacked. And I was just like, wow. So maybe, exercise really does do those things, when it comes to focus and memory, which I think it does. I've seen a few videos on it, but I don't like to comment because I'm no expert. But
Well, you like to research. So there is a really great book that I think would answer all of those questions for you around exercise. And it's all research based.
oh,
Yes, it's called Spark, The Revolutionary New Science of Exercise in the Brain. So he lists all of these studies about exercise and its benefits for the brain. He looks at different schools that implemented exercise programs in the morning versus the afternoon or versus not at all. And there was a marked difference in the average scores of the kids and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, as you like get ready to go back to school, and I mean, school is, I mean, it's important. It's going to set up some of what you do for at least the next decade of your life. And so, you want to be able to give it your all, and that might be something you want to add to your regimen as you know, get the lights and everything turned back on.
I definitely don't plan to to stop exercising. It just
Hmm.
because as a matter of, I definitely want to look more muscular, but at the same time, I also want to like I want the other benefits because I've seen,
Hmm.
you hear things like BDNF being like, your brain like the miracle girl and stuff like that, and you trigger it a lot when you exercise, and you get a bunch of growth hormone when you exercise, and all these good things. So, it's besides those benefits, like I can say like it definitely feels good, and I have personal goals for it. So I'm
Nice.
excited, and I took the book down. I'm gonna see if
Okay.
it's on Kindle though.
It is. It is. So everybody in the household, they're leaving you alone for now. They are
For
okay
now.
with you eating this way. Okay. And all right. So what will you show them, or what, I don't know. I guess I wonder what benchmark would you be able to show them, like, hey, look at the improvements that I've had since eating this way. What might they notice?
This is part of the reason why I want to get fit is to convince people because I'm a little skinnier. I've gotten more muscular because I've only started working out recently, and the results came by a little faster than I thought it was. It's nothing major, but I could see a little more musculature. And if I can convince them, because I don't want to, I don't know. It's like I want to show the results, so other people in the house can be as healthy as possible, especially like with the new kid coming in. And because my mom thinks about getting like these little blenders to like blend up fruit and stuff for like baby food, but I'm just like, you can just feed the babies some ground meat or
Yeah.
something. That wouldn't be too bad. But it's a baby, you shouldn't feed it meat or something. I don't know. There's a lot of
Well, breast milk.
fair.
That's the
Yeah,
first way.
well,
That's a good place to
yeah,
start.
breast milk. And if anyways, but the point is, yeah, I want to show, at least physically, because I can't academically, would take a while, but maybe if I like after a semester or so, I could show, hey, look at my grades. And look how
Well, I mean, if you come home with a 4.0 and you didn't do that at all during high school, that's
exactly.
it's pretty pronounced.
It's a big
So
difference. So, and
I
if I
don't
do it
know.
like as a full-time student, which is because I did full-time in the past and I didn't do that well, drop classes, wasted money, which is never a good thing. So yeah, and if I could show them these results academically, physically, maybe I can be like, oh, so how did you do that? And it's like, oh, you see what I do. I just eat meat.
Yeah.
So I really hope I can convince them, more people, maybe my friends too, because they live by
Hmm.
themselves. As you get out of high school, some parents are like, you need to go out on your own and learn about the real world, stuff like that. So yeah, and I think that'd be good for them specifically because they're out on their
Hmm.
own, and then the last thing you need is brain fog, and you're tired all the time and you can't work because basically when you live on your own, and if you live with a few people, you kind of have to live like check to check.
Hmm.
So I really
Yeah.
want to show people.
Yeah. So right now, do you have to be like budget conscious, or does your mom help pay for your groceries, your food, or
She,
how does
she did
that
when I
work?
wasn't working, and
Mm.
that became a problem because she's like, Jafari, you eat too much, so you need to go and get a job. And it's like, I was, and I wanted to get a job too because I stopped working, part of the reason because I was dealing with a few health things, like specifically like with energy and stuff like that. So but now I was feeling a lot better, and I was worried about working at first because when I was doing carnivore and I was eating way too much fat. So I always had the runs and I always had to go to the bathroom.
Mm.
So I was like, if
Mm.
is this gonna happen at work? This is not okay. But I wasn't worried about it because it went away as I lowered the fat, which I saw a video on.
Mm.
Anyways,
Okay.
so I yeah, it was definitely a problem with the budget. So she said go back to work, and now I just started working actually. When we messaged each other, I wasn't working at the time, which was like earlier in April. And now I started working. I've been working for like 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks. It's pretty expensive because I'm only working part-time, and I wanted to work full-time, which is something I've never said in my life. So but I did want to work full-time. And but I ended up getting part-time. So it is a little expensive because at there's a little Stater Brothers like right around the corner from where I live. And the cheapest I can find meat is just like under $5 a pound. And I eat like 3 pounds a day. And that's like what, 21 pounds a week. And that's a lot of money. It's like almost 100 something. So I I don't want to force myself to fast either, just because I need some money. So I definitely try to focus the funds I get from work on food,
Hmm.
and whatever I have left, I save up because I'm going to go back to school, and I don't want to work while I'm in school. But I would work on campus because they do have opportunities like that. But
Yeah, there's nothing
yeah,
wrong with working while you're in college. Most people do. I know
no,
I worked about 15 to 20 hours a week all through college.
yeah,
So
I wanted to. The only thing with the job I have right now is because it's like it's not near my school, so I'd rather be like close to school and work, so I could
yeah, well,
manage the
for sure,
schedule
you
better.
want something on campus. You want something on
Yeah,
campus. Yeah.
So, um, yeah, it's definitely not. It's not fun with the budget. Sometimes, if I see a steak on discount, I'll definitely get the steak. But yeah, it's. I'm trying to figure out how to manage the money a little better. Maybe I can look like an online thing where I can order meat, but maybe that would be more expensive. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely worth investigating. And I don't know, maybe you can find things like a brisket or other, large cuts of meat that are on sale.
Mhm.
And then do you cook yourself, or I mean, do
I
you?
have to because
Yeah.
uh, let's see. My mom, she said, I'm gonna go to this Thanksgiving party and let me know if you want anything. I was like, okay, I'm carnivore. I'm just gonna get some meat. Let me get some meat. She came back with this ham. Other people cooked it, which I didn't question it, because it's just like it's just meat. I'm just gonna eat it. And then it was sweet, which is something because in Belize we don't celebrate Thanksgiving. So when I came out here, we had turkey and stuff like that. But I never got into the ham even before I wasn't vegan, and even definitely when I was vegan. But now I got into it and it was sweet and I didn't like it at all. I felt
Yeah.
sick. It was just not good. So I cook for myself, and when my mom cooks, she's like, Jafari, do you want some of this? I'm like, did you season it with just salt? And she's like, no. So I'm like, I'm good. So yeah, I have to cook for myself or I'll have a bad day.
Hmm. Well, it's interesting how big a difference it makes for you. Because I feel like, for some of us, it really does make a big difference, but it's more like later in life, the sicker you get, the worse, the worse the impact is. But
Mhm.
it sounds like, I don't know, maybe that's not true. Maybe I would have been sick as I was sick as a young person, eating all the junk that I was, and I wasn't feeling great. So it might have been a different life if I had felt spectacular from day one. Like if I had gone to school like eating properly with the full use of my faculties, I don't know.
No.
I would have cured, cancer, brought about world peace already. I mean, this would be an entirely different planet.
No, yeah, because when you see college students, I follow my friends on social media. They're like what I eat in a day. Sometimes I see those on TikToks and stuff like that. And it's just like they have to eat like the stuff they can get really quickly and cheaply because some of them have to pay for their own college out of their own pockets. Some of my friends in LA have to do that. Yeah, so it's definitely hard to focus on nutrition when you have to focus on school, and then you don't even really think about nutrition because you sort of feel fine. So and you can get through the 4 years, but it sucks knowing that you could have went back, and did better or did a few things differently, which is which
Yeah.
is part of the reason why I'm glad that like I came across this, so young
Yeah.
or recently. And
Yeah.
I have regrets like I should have been a few years ago. I should have learned this.
Hey, you are at the beginning of your journey, so that is really awesome, and it's never too late to pivot either. So so don't worry, whatever you're doing, you're right on time. So you're doing it at the right time.
I'm excited.
So for the summer, then you're gonna, just keep working, and then hopefully in September start school. And yeah, I want to hear how semester one goes. Tell me, how did the grades go? How was school and all of that?
Uh, no, definitely. I'll let you know. I'll let you know. When
Yeah.
you have people expecting things that you kind of want to try harder. So
Well, yeah, not to put too much
no,
pressure,
no, no, it's fine. It's
first and
fine because I
foremost. Yeah.
at the same time, I've always been a little self-centered when it comes to like my personal goals. Like someone could tell me to do something, but at the same time, if I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it. But
Mhm.
I really want to to do better this semester. Um, this summer, I plan to keep working. If I could find a full-time job between now and summer, I probably would take it. But it might look weird on my resume because I just quit as soon as I started working. But yeah, I wanted to keep working during the summer. I also want to do because ever since high school, I have a hobby like recording and doing music stuff with my friends. So I wanna do that on the side, but I don't think I'm gonna get any income from that. That's a hard thing to do. So I plan to.
Well, you never know. Just, start doing
Yeah.
it at whenever you have time and you see, you
Yeah,
know.
it's never it doesn't hurt to try. Try to
Mhm.
set up a little passive income kind of thing. But
For sure, should set up a YouTube channel. I think that is a great option.
no, I do want to do a YouTube channel. Now that I have this, because I literally got the webcam for this interview. I
Oh,
got that first
nice.
I got that first paycheck. And I was like, I should get a webcam. So I got the webcam. And yeah, if I could do a YouTube channel, I'll probably do something like gaming, but
Mhm.
that's something I have to like plan out and do over the summer. It's not that I'm good at games. I'm just gonna have to put up videos that are like, I'm bad, so watch the video because it's funny.
Yeah.
So
Hey, I don't know. There's a market for everything. There's a
that's
niche
true.
for everything. So do it.
So yeah, that's what I want to do for the summer at least. Keep working and try to think of ways to set up passive income. I was also I'm also getting interested in like stuff like economy and stuff like that because
Mhm.
which is something I just learned like yesterday. It was like inflation goes up by 2% every year, which is interesting. So your money loses value. So I'm interested in making more money for the long run. So that's something I plan to like. If I could go to school and do economy and uh, video game design at the same time, I would. But I want to focus on one thing. But if I could do it on the side, I'll probably like research that stuff at home. So that's something I'm probably gonna do over the summer. Or maybe I could do it in school. I just have to look out for it.
Mhm. Well, surely your mom must be, quite proud of you. You definitely seem
Zoom. Oh,
research oriented, regardless of whether you're in school or out. So, I would think that that in and of itself, your curiosity and you're seeking out this information and teaching yourself all of this stuff. I mean, that's something, to be proud of, right?
yeah. Actually, when I was applying for my job, my mom was just like, "You should put you self-taught because, that's something you should be proud of." I was like, I don't really see it as a big deal like that, but when you
A lot
when I
of
look
people
around,
don't do that. A
you know,
lot of people don't do that.
when I look around, I really notice. I was like, really? It's not that hard. Google is right here. So,
Mhm.
um, but it's enjoyable though because when you look up something and you apply the information and you get results. Like with this diet and stuff. It was just like a whole change. And the other things too, because when it comes to video production, I wasn't the best in class because I just had a natural talent. I literally went home and I watched videos, and my mom has her own camera, so I practiced with that a little. So, you know, I didn't really notice it, but that makes
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah. Well, now you have the ability to go and try all these things. So that's awesome. Now, what advice would you give any other teens or young adults about doing this, about moving away from the vegan diet and implementing a carnivore diet?
Hmm. If I could convince my friends, how to say it? It would be hard to convince them without results. So I'd have to know my research on hand. Be like, you shouldn't, cholesterol isn't bad because of this, and it's not going to clog your arteries, you know, and stuff like that. I'll definitely try to focus on like the logical side of the argument because I feel like if I just come out and say, you guys should do this diet, I feel amazing, this, and that, they're just gonna think I'm crazy, like a lunatic, because, it's like a crackhead just came up, said I did crack and I'm amazing now. I feel great. So,
Well, I mean, if you struggled with constipation and acne, other people do too, probably. So, I mean, it's not the funnest topic to talk about, maybe, but like,
that is true.
when you
So,
say, I feel amazing, I mean, I always say to people, there's a difference between saying, I just did a couple lines of Coke and I feel amazing versus, I woke up this morning, didn't need coffee, my stomach feels fine, and I'm in a good mood and I feel amazing. Like those are two different kinds of amazing. So when you can say the latter And people will start to notice, like the people you spend time with will notice, gosh, you're in a good mood all the time. Like, well, why are you just so energetic? And, if you got all this energy, why don't you go outside and, pick this up or clean that up or do something with it? So people will notice, your friends will notice.
I will. That was definitely a good point, because if I can point out things that might be wrong with them and then show them like, if you do this, you can get this result.
Hmm.
I think that would be pretty convincing. And plus showing them how I feel is a really good thing. Like when you said wake up in the morning, I completely forgot about that when I was talking about the diet earlier, but that's so true. And when it comes to mood, that's also so true, because I just started this job and manager said something and I was like, I could get mad, but I just smiled it off, which is super easy.
Hmm.
Because the thing she said, like, I don't know, in the past I probably would have been pretty upset for like walking around with a face, because
Hmm.
it was offensive or whatever. But yeah, if I can talk to them and show them like how different I am compared to
Hmm.
how I was then, because they know me personally, they know how I was. So if I can, that's definitely a good way to convince them. It's probably what I
Well,
would
those
try.
are some big things. Your mood is better, and your being able to get up and stay awake in the morning. Like, that's a really big deal. A
No,
lot of
that's
people
true. Cause
struggle with depression and anxiety, especially, young people.
that was another thing, because I did have this weird anxiety attacks at like the randomest times. It was senior year of high school. We just went into this new Spanish class, and it was exciting. Everybody was talking to each other, but I was just so nervous. I was like literally shaking the entire period, and it was like a 45-minute class, like for no reason. I was trying my best to hide it, because if I was writing, I'd like, or you hear my pen tapping, and that's for no reason. But it was a weird experience. And then another time when I was on a register, a customer came up to me and he raised his voice a little, and I got this weird panic attack again. So I was it's definitely something that's improved when it comes to anxiety and depression, because if you're in high school and you just get out of high school and your parents say now you got to go live on your own, get a job, do this, it can be pretty depressing and stuff like that. Even sometimes when I think about
I
like
know. I was always like, I can't wait to grow up. And then I grew up and I was like, oh man, I want to go back. I don't want to deal with bills and taxes and oh yeah. So don't rush.
no, that's true.
Yeah.
And then yeah, so if I could like show my friends, like, because even though I live at home with my mom, and sometimes I think about like the decisions I made financially or what I did in the last year and how I didn't do anything in the last year, it can be pretty depressing. But like, once I get like like a steak in me or something, I feel fine. But
Hmm.
it's nothing. It's definitely something that's good for your mood. I want to if I could show people
I
the
mean,
difference in how I
this
am to.
is this is it. I mean, you are showing that it's, that well, the mood, the anxiety. I mean, do you know how much money people spend on drugs to control their mood, to control
Drugs are
anxiety?
expensive. When I
Yeah.
found out, I was shocked
Yeah.
myself. I was like, you paid thousands, not hundreds. You paid thousands.
Yes. Yes. So, dealing with anxiety and depression, being able to focus, being able to, excel in school, like those are big, big things that a lot of people struggle with. So if you start to improve there, like that is something that people can see. There are tangible results. It's not all about weight loss and muscles. I mean, that's nice,
Mhm.
but there's much bigger things and much more important things at stake here. So you're doing it. You're already seeing improvement. You're getting ready to go back to school, which you might not even have done, right? You might have spent another year kind of just working and hanging out if you didn't, change your diet and stuff. So,
Yeah.
already your life is changing because you have made these dietary choices.
Mhm.
I'm quite proud of you. I think you're doing great.
No, thank you. Actually, You're the only person who said that when I switched to this diet. My mom, I'm not saying she's not proud of me because I'm her kid, but like at the same time, she's never like, I'm proud of you for doing this diet. So but
Well, not a lot of people will, but I will say it. I am proud of you, and I'm really excited
thank
to
you.
see what kind of changes manifest in your life because of this change.
I'm excited too, like actually like
Yeah.
excited, which is something I couldn't say not too long ago, because feeling excited about things like going to school is something that's like, you're excited to go to school, but it's more like in the long run. I'm excited to
Yeah.
see how life plays out because I'm gonna perform better than I thought I could.
Well,
But
you definitely seem like a smart person, and you definitely seem like you need more intellectual challenges. So, and I'm not getting the impression that you're particularly intellectually challenged right now. So, it is definitely time for you to go back to school.
no, that's true. uh, I definitely have to, because if I didn't, my mom would be like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
be out on the streets sooner or later.
You
But
like to read, you like to study, it's
oh yeah,
you got to get back to it. Yeah.
before I definitely before I went into carnivore, actually, or that year, I did a lot of reading, but it wasn't like educational reading. I just wanted to, because I was starting to feel better, so I wanted to get into like reading. I read a lot of books. It was mostly like, because if you want to start getting into reading, I think the best way is to like read something you like. And I wasn't really interested in anything like scientifically or like an important topic, I guess. So I just read fantasy books. They were these super long books, but I enjoyed like every minute. Like I play jazz music in the background or something, and I just like read. And so that I got into it reading more. So that was a good thing.
Man,
And
excellent.
yeah, I wanna see how well this will go. What else? I feel like you said something that caught my attention, and I completely, because you say so many things that I'm just like, oh, that's such a good point. I'm like, oh, this is such another good point. And then like, oh, I forgot the old one.
Well, it's okay. We'll keep the conversation going. And yeah, and I really appreciated your coming on and having this conversation. I don't often get to talk to young people who are eating this way, so it is really cool to get your perspective. And I hope for anybody who's watching, who's around the same age, that you decide to give this a try. I know that I loved the candy and the sweet stuff and all of that kind of stuff. So
I
it would have been a
was a
major
chocolate person.
challenge. Yeah, it would have been a major challenge for me, but there would have also been a lot of glory. And I think that I would have been able to show up in the world a lot better, and have more confidence, like you were talking about, and more focus and all of that. So so I hope everybody who's watching, that you consider it. And if people have questions, Jahfari, where should they reach out to you, or can they?
Well, yeah, I don't go on social media too much, but Instagram or Twitter is fine.
All right, awesome. So thank you so much for coming today, and I look forward to seeing what becomes of you. And to everybody watching, thank you for being here, and we will see you soon.
Thank you for having me.